Black Clover Chapter 258 is out, and again, a week late, similar to my My Hero Academia video, but I feel like I needed that week off because I had a lot of stuff going on, family, went on a little trip with my family, so I'm back with the reviews. So Black Clover 258, another phenomenal chapter by Tabata, and my God, is Black Clover really, really inching its way up to be my second favorite manga series of all time right now. Because before it was My Hero, Seven Deadly Sins at a tie, and I have other manga that I'm currently reading, like Fairy Tail Under Your Quest, Eden Zero, Jujutsu Kaisen, Blue Exorcist. I'm trying to catch up on. Regardless, a lot of manga I'm trying to catch up on, but Black Clover has been knocking it out of the park with this recent arc, and I love it. So what happened last week? What happened last week? Well, Dante reveals his body magic. He was able to regenerate and enhance his body over time. With the boost from the devil Lucifer that is currently supplying a power he has a contract with, it basically makes it so he can't die. He'll never age. Not to mention, the more he uses his body magic, the more grotesque and monstrous he looks. And by the end of the last chapter and the start of this chapter, Dante looks like a giant demon. He literally looks like a giant demon. And let's get started, because I'm going to have to go through this. I'm going to have to go through the actual chapter while I'm reviewing it, because a lot happens, and I need to be insanely specific on what goes on before moving on with the review. This is most likely going to be a bit short. Okay, this thing froze. This thing is frozen. Damn. Oh, okay, finally. Okay, so the chapter starts off with Dante towering over Yami and Asta. And I do love how last chapter Yami acknowledges Asta's strength and calls him by his name. That's something that I did not clarify on in the last review. Throughout the entirety of Black Clover, Yami has basically called Asta like shrimp and stuff like that. More like nicknames whenever he's addressed Asta. But this is the first time he truly called Asta by his name and said that he needed him in order to win. So this is great. Student and master. Mentor and apprentice. It's got that kind of dynamic. And from the start, as Dante is laughing maniacally saying, yes, entertain me more. The guy is a freaking simp for all this crap. He is a masochist. He is enjoying all this. So Tabata puts 4 panels side by side. 2 panels are with Asta and 2 are with Yami. Both are showing that not only are their stances in sync, but also their breathing is in sync. They're getting ready to fight as one. So Asta and Yami lunge towards Dante as soon as they're ready. Now, one thing I do have to note is that while Asta's drawing on his anti-magic demon's power, it's barely anything. He barely has a wing. It doesn't look like he can fly at all. It looks like he can barely even fly, and he just has his horn. That's really and his eyes change also. So they lunge towards Dante, and this is action after action. That's why I have to look through this as I'm saying the review, because so much happens in these few pages. And I can't wait to see it animated. I can't wait to see this fight animated, man. So, alright. So, they start off and they head towards Dante. Dante creates boulders to try and block them. Yami and Asta break through the boulders. Yami cuts off Dante's arm. And then Asta goes to try and land a hit on Dante. But Dante quickly pulls back his fist so Asta can miss and goes to try and land a strong blow on Asta. But at the last minute, Yami kicks Asta out of the way so they can avoid it. And Asta goes on to try and cut Dante again. But Dante uses his gravity magic to warp space and avoid Asta's attack. Yami sees this and uses another death thrust to annihilate the top half of Dante's body. Asta goes back in to try and hit him. Dante hits Asta with a very strong punch. The two of them get back up, and again, they charge at him in sync. And I do love how Yami is stating that Asta's anti-magic is definitely the key factor in this fight, and they have to find a way for Asta's sword to come in contact with Dante. And as this is going on, Asta is beating on himself because he's like, he knew he couldn't hold. He thinks he's holding Yami back. I mean, he kind of is. He's not quite at Yami's level yet. He's just about there. But Asta is still insanely exhausted, and he used up the majority of his anti-magic that he could use. So Asta's saying that he's managing the fight because it's with Captain Yami. But he's starting to think that the past 6 months of training were for nothing. And nothing he's done has worked on this guy. So as Dante is getting ready to use another singularity, gravity singularity attack on Asta and Yami, Asta comes to terms and says, I have to use that, I have to try and use that power that within me that I can't quite understand. And he says flat out, hey, you're watching this, right, devil? And then we cut to Asta's mental mindscape, where he is having a conversation with the devil within. So they're basically saying that I'm gonna have to read this line by line so I can, because I don't want to butcher what's going on, because this is really important. So Asta states, I remembered we met like this before, didn't we? You seemed different then, though. A minute ago, you were angry. I felt it. I don't know why, but you want to beat that guy too, don't you? I think I actually should have talked to you like this sooner. I want to do things that way from now on. So, lend me your power, please, before I go on. So this does confirm that Asta, while getting more mastery over his anti-magic, has not actually conversed with the devil that is within him. So now Asta is trying to start a dialogue with him and be like, okay, if I'm gonna get stronger, the two of us have to start communicating more and sharing our power. So the devil ends up laughing and says, fine, I'll share the true power of a devil with you. I can't do it as things stand, though. I need something suitable in exchange. I'll take part of your body. It's a devil's bargain. Are you still in? So it goes to show that it's possible that in order for this actually gives a bit of foreshadowing or a hint as to how the Dark Triad got this powerful, because since their devils are still in the demon world, they're only transferring their power to Dante and the rest of the Dark Triad through specific contracts and stuff like that and deals. So the devil here is most likely within Asta's grimoire. So he has access to all of his power and can give Asta as much as possible. As much as he can handle. Which also states that it's possible that that in order for them to do this, they had to have made some sort of deal and given something in exchange. So what could they have given in exchange? For Vonica, I could assume it was her right eye. Because she has an eye patch there, and the second it comes off, boom, we see her right eye, and it's demonic with Magicula. Xenon, I'm not sure. I am honestly not sure. Maybe he lost an arm or something. We haven't really seen him use his arms at all, so it's possible. But what Asta says is pretty damn cool. Because he says, even if I turn into a devil, no matter what I have to do, I need to surpass my limits. And he flashes back to Yami saying that he needs Asta's help. That's how much those words meant to me. There's no way a guy who can't handle this could become Wizard King. I'm going to be the Wizard King. Before that, I want to be the kind of person who can come through for Captain Yami. And the devil is like, very well, I'll give it to you. And then we cut back to the fight at the very end of this chapter. Before the Dark Singularity hits, Asta reveals, he completely negates it. Yami smile. Asta shows up. He's gotten his demon power back, but even more because now his whole right arm looks more demonic, like something out of Berserk in terms of how demonic it looks. There's a bit of a glare there, but you can see the design of his black arm. So let me state this. For one, Asta is coming to terms with the fact that he will have to give up a part of his body to the demon within him in order to become stronger. So there's almost a boatload of possibilities. Right now, the devil is giving Asta as much anti-magic as he can handle right now, which essentially powered up his right arm, his dominant arm, with the Demon Dweller sword. So, what could possibly happen in the future is that maybe Asta will continue to have to rely on the anti-magic demon's power more and more, and make more and more bargains, more deals, give up certain parts of his body in order to become stronger and get the true power of his devil. This could also elaborate to how Julius said that Asta will die soon. So, it's possible that the anti-magic devil will in fact eventually overtake Asta if Asta continues to make deals and give up parts of his body to this devil in order to become stronger. So what could happen next? It could be similar to how Naruto does stuff with the Nine Tails, where the Nine Tails comes forth and completely overtakes Naruto and fully controls his actions. It could be something similar to that, but we don't know yet. There's also the fact that we have still known nothing about Asta's devil or Asta's past. So there's still a lot. Not to mention, he does state that his devil really wants to beat Lucifer. He's angry at Lucifer. He wants to kill him. So it's possible there is also a personal grudge. But yeah, not much else in this chapter. Amazing fight and some good setup with how Asta and Yami can defeat Dante. I do see this ending with their defeat in the end because I feel like Asta will really reach his limit after this. Possibly they'll deal enough damage to Dante for him to get knocked out. And then something will happen. Perhaps maybe Xenon will show up. And then having to deal with two Dark Triad members, one of which has not received any damage from his fight against Yuno earlier. And the other which is basically immortal if they don't take him out quite quickly enough. So yeah, I do see stuff happening with them losing or them kind of winning but not winning. Something like that. Because the stakes need to go up because at the end of the raid of Heart Kingdom, Little Pachika was taken by Vanica and Megicula to try and make the world stronger and stuff like that. Which makes us more keen to go towards the Spade Kingdom. Xenon killed half of the Golden Dawn and took vengeance, which is good motivation for Yuno as one of the sole survivors, one of the 50% of Golden Dawn members to have survived that initial attack, thanks to Vengeance's quick placement of the long-range healing spell, makes him angry and gives him a reason for revenge. So the only way I see this happening to help push Asta and the rest of the Black Bulls to head to the Spade Kingdom and take them down would be for Yami to get taken. For Yami to lose and get taken by Dante and the Dark Triad so they can push beyond their limits and become stronger. Because there's also the fact that we don't know who the vice captain of the Black Bulls is and that Black Bull spy who is spying on the Spade Kingdom. That could be the vice captain. We don't know their identity. We could see that if Yami is taken, the vice captain will show up, take command, so they can take back Yami. I see that happening in the future. I really do, because Tabata has given us false hope before in this arc with Yuno powering up to take on Xenon. But then Xenon destroys Yuno. With Noelle pushing past her limits, literally stabbing Vanica with Megicula's 70% of Megicula's power straight to the torso, and then getting utterly destroyed afterwards. These villains were built up an arc prior, and the power of a devil has been built up so much, I don't see how Dante, the leader of the Dark Triad, could actually lose. At least not yet. But that's my personal opinion. What did you guys think? What do you think is going to happen next time? How do you think Asta will deal with the fact that he basically lost an arm? Will his arm disappear, or will his arm just be in the devil's control when he transforms? What do you think will happen? And how exactly do you think this arc will end, and who do you think Asta's devil could really be? And if this all ties in to Julius predicting that Asta will die. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know what you thought of the chapter, what you think is going to happen, and whatever other manga you'd like me to review in the future. And with all that said and done, hope you guys have an awesome day.